Today is 1099 day that I'm sharing lessons I learn. I'm learning how to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Imagine that you have 100 puzzle pieces. 100 puzzle pieces. And you love putting puzzle pieces together, and you start putting together one piece at a time, one piece at a time, two pieces at a time, and you finally make that picture happen. You have those 100 pieces looking, and you see the picture, and you don't like that picture. I think that exactly the same is with our thoughts, with our thinking. Our thoughts, our thinking is a puzzle, and we're working with those thoughts and to make that puzzle. So it could be a past, it could be present, it could be future. But if we have some thoughts that we're putting together a picture. So we look at the past, we have 100 pieces, and we're really putting together all those thoughts and as a puzzle pieces, and we have a picture. And we don't like that picture. We potentially could look in the present as well. We have those pictures and those thoughts. And you said, I don't like the picture. Now, when you think about really puzzle, 100 pieces puzzle, some people, what we have a tendency to do, we really want to really put those pieces out, break that out, and rebuild again. And we see that that's exactly the same picture. So if we want to make a different picture, what do we need to do? We need to have different pieces. We're not able to create different picture with the same pieces. So if that's true for puzzles, that's exactly the same thing for our thoughts, for our thinking. So if we want to change our picture of a past, if we want to change our picture of the present and the future, we need to change those thoughts, those puzzle pieces that create that picture of a past, picture of the present and the future. And I think that we need to really learn that. And I really want to focus on thinking. I think that we have a tendency to think that we think. But thinking is the most hard thing to do. I think that people have a tendency to marinate, not think. Marinate, not think. And today we'll share 8 things. What are the difference between marinating and thinking? Because marinating leads to disappointment. Marinating leads to stagnation. While thinking leads to really being able to really grow, improve, getting better. If you're not getting any better, it might be that you're marinating, not thinking. Because if you're recreating the same picture over and over and over again, that shows marination. Because we're supposed to be able to create different pictures in our mind. So number one difference between marination is that sometimes we really need to explore. Because if we are able to really marinate and ruminate and that stacks in that one picture, one puzzle picture. But when we actually start to think, what are we able to do? We're able to bring other pieces. So like this kind of piece, this kind of piece, this kind of piece. Because now you have different pieces, you're able to really make a different picture. But again, that requires exploration. Exploration. That means that we need to explore in different ideas, different things. How often do you think about different things? How often do you explore new ideas? Rather than thinking about the same thing. Exploration is very, very important. Number two, that is very, very important is when you think about differences, is that marinating is repetition. So you're repeating the same ideas over and over and over and over again. If you catch yourself, and of course we understand that 80% of those thoughts are exactly the same from yesterday, but being able to really use those 20% in the most possible way. And now when you really go out, explore, what is the next important step? Synthesis. Being able to really bring those thoughts together. So that means we'll go one corner and other corner. And you find, okay, one idea in this side, one idea in this side. So that means we will need to be able to bring those ideas together. And that's just very, very important. Rather than repeating the same with those ideas, we will need to explore and then bring those together again. Because it's very easy to bring those ideas together when you repeat. You know those thoughts together, those fixes, you're able to bring them together. But now you have different ideas. You need to work hard to find, okay, where do they come together again? So it will take much more mental strength, because you will need to work to find out how to put together those thoughts again. The other thing that we need to understand about the difference is that marinating is cognitive safety. It's safe to think exactly the same thoughts. It's very safe to marinating. You know exactly those thoughts. But true thinking creates internal discomfort, intentional discomfort. If you don't feel any discomfort with your thinking, it might be that you're not thinking yet. You're marinating. Because what true thinking does is challenge your beliefs, challenges your morals, values, challenges your vision, challenges who you are, challenges your identity itself. That means that people who have courage are able to think. People without courage are not able to think. They're even afraid to really think about possibilities. They're afraid to think about what's possible, because that requires to challenge your own beliefs, and that sometimes it's complicated. Number 4, the difference is that we believe that rumination is static. So there's no action steps. So there's a thought, and that's it. We will stuck with those thoughts. But when I think about thinking, this is a dynamic process. Very dynamic. That means that we're able to analyze things. We'll bring things together. And I think that the biggest thing that we need to think is that true thinking is about action steps, about change, about improvement, about getting better. Marinating is on something that already happened, and nothing will be changed. I think that sometimes we really looking into the past as static, but even the past could be changed when you're actually able to find better thoughts around it. Present and future, all is not static, is dynamic when we start implementing the process and thinking that allows you or look for the better thoughts. Number 5, this is very powerful. I think that's a lot of times the reason why people are so depressive, why people are sad, why people are disappointed, is that they have a fragmented focus. That means that they focus on a small piece. So imagine you have a garden. You have a big garden, and you focus on a small corner of that garden, and that small corner of the garden is terrible. There's a lot of weeds, disgusting, no one taking care of. So that means it might be sad, might be disappointed. It's like complaining. Look how the weeds are so high. Nobody's taking care of them. But now when you're able to have a holistic perspective, that's what it is, like holistic reflection, fragmented focus. So when you have a holistic and you start looking at a whole big picture of the garden, and you see that garden is a beautiful garden, amazing flowers, taken care of, weeded out. So when you have a holistic perspective, you start to say, oh, this garden is beautiful. Someone, amazing person taking care of it. Fragmented focus on that small piece of the garden that is not taken care of yet. Holistic perspective looks in the whole garden, and you're able to start and you see how much difference it is? Fragmented focus could potentially feel disappointed about the garden. Holistic perspective is grateful about the garden. And that's very, very important to be able to really have holistic reflection rather than fragmented focus. Number 6, and this again, why marinating is, marinating versus thinking is important in relation as well. Because marinating is very egocentric, while thinking is empathy and perspective taking. So that means that people who are thinking actually able to build better relationships, because what they're able to do, they're able to put themselves in other person's shoes. They're able to think how other person thinks. They're able to try to understand other person's perspective. There's a massive power in that. Because empathy is being able to understand another person and trying to understand where they're coming from. If you're not able to think, but marinate, you marinate on yourself, in yourself. You become very egoistic, self-centered. And that is very, very powerful. If you do not have relationships, strong relationships that you want, maybe it's time to start thinking. Start to put yourself different thoughts, different ideas, and start putting other people's ideas in yourself and see how those ideas and thoughts is working in me. It's very powerful. Number 7. Again, this is probably the most important reason why people feel so depressed or sad, is that there's a difference between absorption of thought and creation of meaning. So marinated people are absorbing their thoughts. So they have a thought, and they create sadness, they have disappointment, regret, grief. So that means that they have marination on the thoughts that creating negative emotions. And they stay there. Because they're marinating constantly on the same ideas, on the same feelings, on the same thoughts over and over and over again. And that leads to depression. Of course that leads to depression. But when we actually turning to the other side in thinking and looking for creation of meaning and being able to look for perspectives and look into the action steps, maybe disappointments, whatever it is, and really start looking for what kind of perspectives could I get? What kind of meaning could I get? Because there's a great book, Fail Forward. So it means that fail forward means that you're able to look in that failure, look in that disappointment, and look how it could move forward with this one. Because you can fall backwards and you can fall forward. And it's your choice where will fall. Marinated people, they fall backwards. People who are thinking fall forward. And they're able to stand in a new position, better position than before. It's very, very important. And the last one, number 8, is that people who are marinating is very rigid. They have those 100 pieces of the puzzle, and they say like, okay, this is my 100 pieces, and I need to create something with those 100 pieces. And they're trying to change that and try to put it together, but they always end up in exactly the same picture. But people who are thinking, they have mental flexibility that allows them to really say that I don't need to stuck with 100 pieces. I don't need to stuck with those pieces. I could throw all 100 pieces out and I go outside and find new pieces. Now, I probably don't need to throw all the pieces, but if you have 100 pieces and you start say like, okay, I get rid of those 50 pieces and then I go outside and find 950 more pieces and I have 1,000 pieces. How much more you can create with so much more ideas, thoughts, perspectives. You can make such a more beautiful picture of your past, of your present, of your future. So we're able to change the pieces, we're able to have more pieces. I think that people who are really master communicators, master in business, master in everything, experts in what they do, I think that they have 10,000 pieces in their expertise, 10,000 thoughts in expertise, and they're able to make art from that. Because just having thoughts will not work. Being able to have those thoughts integrated with each other, that's what is expertise. That's what is really true meaning of a person who achieved master level of knowledge in a certain area. And that means that if we want to achieve that, if we want to really put those puzzles together, we need to start working. We need to start thinking. We need to bring ideas together and thoughts together and need to start working how they work together. And that's why it's very, very important to learn how to integrate multiple areas in our lives. Like when it's like we have family, we have personal, inner, physical, we have finances, impact, adventure, so many areas of our lives, and really being able to bring them together is very, very important. And thinking will allow us to do. So in essence, marination is staying stuck. Marination is staying stuck. That's what it means. But what true art of thinking is really self-transformation. So if you feel that you're not transforming, not getting better, maybe you need to start asking, do I marinate or do I think? Because thinking leads to transformation, self-transformation, and marinating leads to stagnation. I could find myself as well a lot of times, rather than thinking, I was marinating. I think it's very easy to fall into marinating. I think that byproduct we fall in marination, but we need to choose manually to start thinking. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.